Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Girivardhare Jaya Girivardhare Jaya Janavallabha Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo Haribo Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Privaracharya Sadasara Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Privaracharya Sadasara Srila Bhaktisanta Saraswati Maharaj ki jai. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Radha Radhanath ki jai. Shri Giri Raj Govardhani ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gau Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be reading from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Since it's Janmashtami is coming up and we're preparing for that. So we'll talk from, so my verses are from 7 to 20 and we'll do that right now. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Shagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye. Vanchakalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we won't do the Sanskrit, we'll just read the English. Text 7. The Lord ordered Yogamaya, O my potency, who are worshipable for the entire world, and whose nature is to bestow good fortune upon all living entities, go to Vraja, where they live many cowherd men and their wives. In that way, in that very beautiful land, where many cows reside, Rohini, the wife of Vasudeva, is living at the home of Nanda Maharaj. Other wives of Vasudeva are also living incognito because of fear of Kamsa. Please go there. So we see here that, the Lord is instructing Yogamaya to go to Vraja, basically, to the land of Vrindavan, right? So there's a small papacha, we'll read it. Nanda Gokul, the residence of King Nanda, was itself very beautiful, and when Yogamaya was ordered to go there and encourage the devotees and fearlessness, it became even more beautiful and safe, because Yogamaya had the ability to create such an atmosphere. The Lord ordered her to go to Nanda Gokul. Excuse me. So here we see in this way how the Lord ordered Yogamaya to go to Vrindavan and to make everything auspicious, and everyone will be fearless, right? And all good fortune will reside. Text 8. Within the womb of Devaki is my partial plenary expansion known as Sankarshan or Sesha, without difficulty transfer him into the womb of Rohini. So this is an instruction of the Lord to transfer the Anantashesh, basically Lord Balaram, from the womb of Rohini, from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And we see the purports are very long, so we're not going to go through the purports. I will just explain as we go along. So we see in this part of it, Prabhupada is explaining that Lord Balaram went into the womb of Devaki to make it auspicious so that Krishna can enter, right? So we find that Balaram, he is always serving Krishna in this attitude of, making everything nice for him, like comfortable for the Lord. And we find that, Balaram expands as Krishna's bed, Anantashesh, right? And he expands as Krishna's slippers, has Krishna's bed, pillows like this, so different things. Krishna's slippers, Krishna's bow, Krishna's mirror, Krishna's rope, the bugle, the Krishna's toy ball. So we'll just go over these things and give you the names of these different paraphernalias, right? So Krishna's slippers is known as Charana Paduka, and Krishna's bow is known as Vilasa Karma. Krishna's mirror is known as Sara Sindhu or Dindu. His ropes are known as Pashu Vasikara. His bugle is Mandra Gosha, and his toy ball is Chitra Goraka. So basically all these items have a specific name, but with these all Krishna's paraphernalias are basically an expansion of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram, he expands into all these things in order to give Krishna pleasure like this. So how much so it is for us devotees to give Krishna pleasure by serving him with love and devotion and with different items. And we should also know that, all these items that we worship Krishna with is an expansion of Lord Balaram. The devotees are given this task to do pujari backup, right? And all the Lord's paraphernalia, they have to wash and clean and all of that. So all these items are not different from Lord Balaram. So if we look at these items as non-different from Lord Balaram, how much more affection and love we will have to serve the Lord in this way. Krishna's paraphernalia will take care of it. So in this way, devotees should have this mindset that, yes, this is Balaram I'm dealing with, and I should handle it very carefully, right? So we should do like this. And we'll go on to the next part. Next text is text 9. O all auspicious Yogamaya, I shall then appear with my full 6 opulences as the son of Devaki, and you will appear as the daughter of Mother Yashoda, the queen of Maharaj Nanda. So here we find that in the purport, Prabhupada is saying that it's not such a long purport, we'll reread it, then we'll speak on something. The word amsha, bhagena, is important in this verse. In Bhagavad Gita, ataeva bahuneta kim jantva tavarjuna vistabhyam idham krishnam ekam shena sito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. Everything is situated as part of the Supreme Lord's potency in regard to the Lord's appearance in the womb of Devaki. Brahma played a part also because on the bank of the milk ocean, he requested the Supreme Personality of Godhead to appear. A part was also played by Baladev, the first expansion of Godhead. Similarly, Yogamaya, who appeared as a daughter of Mother Yashoda also played a part. This Jiva Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, and Shakti Tattva are all integrated with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when Krishna appears, he appears with all his integrated parts. As explained in previous verses, Yogamaya was requested to attract Sankarshan Baladev from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. This was a very heavy task for her. Yogamaya naturally could not see how it was possible for her to attract Sankarshan. Therefore, Krishna addressed her as Subhe, auspicious, and said, "Be blessed." To take power from me, and you will be able to do it by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone can do anything, right? For the Lord is present in everything, all things being part and parcel of his part and parcel, Amsha Bhagena, and increasing or decreasing by his supreme will. Balaram was only 15 days old when 15 days older than Krishna. By the blessings of Krishna, Yogamaya became the daughter of Mother Yashoda, but by the supreme will, she was not able to enjoy the parental love of her father and mother. Krishna, however, although not actually born from the womb of Mother Yashoda, enjoyed the parental love of Mother Yashoda and Nanda. By the blessings of Krishna, Yogamaya was able to achieve the reputation of being the daughter of Mother Yashoda, who also became famous by the blessings of Krishna. Yashoda means one who gives fame. So we see here that Yogamaya, she became the daughter of Mother Yashoda, and the name of Yashoda means the one who gives fame or bestows fame. So in this way she became famous as Krishna's sister also, right? So, and another name for Yogamaya or Krishna's sister is Subhadra. Subhadra means very auspicious, right? Su means very auspicious, and Bhadra means activity. So like this, these names have meanings, and we should actually understand what they mean. Subhadra, and so like this, when she appears as Mahamaya, then she basically has a different function, right? And in this way, we find that she bewilders everyone in this material world. How does she do that? So they forget that Krishna is God, the Supreme Lord. And, we living entities, we know that, we have forgotten Krishna's potencies. And we have come into this material world, and, we are bewildered, basically. So until and unless the living entity comes to Krishna, then only will he understand that he was bewildered, and now that he has come to Krishna consciousness, then he can revive his Krishna consciousness in this way. And so as Mahamaya, she has this function also of keeping all the living entities entrapped in this world, right? And as Yogamaya, when one becomes a devotee, then Yogamaya, she actually has a different function. She helps the devotee to become closer to Krishna. So in this way, we see that before Krishna appeared, then there were 6 children that were actually slain by Kamsa. But these 6 children is described as, the Bhagavatam describes, they are basically like sons of Marichi, demon, and they are Kama, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, like this. So lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, envy, all these things, were basically were destroyed, right? Before Balaram entered. So these children that were killed were personifications of these items. Or the personification of Krodha means anger, Lobha means greed, right? Kama means lust, Mada means madness, Matsarya, illusion, like this. So in this way, we can, when Krishna enters our lives, then all these things, that's in our hearts also dissipates gradually by the association of devotees and, interaction with devotees like that, then all these things, so you may wonder, how does interaction of devotees, purify my heart? Yes, it does, in that we have interaction with devotees, and the devotee may tell you something, and you may become angry, at the devotees. So this is your anger that's coming out, right? And you may become so flustered, you may even break things and throw things, and, you become so irritable like this. So in this way, you may not harm the devotee, but you may, vent your anger and your frustration. And when you do like this, then this is when all this anger and lust and greed and whatever, is coming out of you. So when you have interactions with devotees, so Krishna uses devotees, to purify us, right? And so in this way, this is interaction with devotees and association of devotees. When you live in the association of devotees, then you will see all these things coming out, and you will, you'll identify it in other devotees, and you'll identify it in your heart also. So in this way, we can understand, yes, that I'm getting rid of all these anarthas, right? So text 10. By sacrifice of animals, ordinary human beings will worship you gorgeously with various paraphernalia, because you are the supreme in fulfilling the material desires of everyone. So we see here, Prabhupada, in this Prabhupada, he talks about demigod worship and how, Rangadevi, or Krishna's sister, Yogamaya, has now become Mahamaya, and she has these different names, and Prabhupada describes these different names, that she actually appears as in this material world. And he says that in this verse, he says that, Mahamaya is one of them. And I think in another text he describes the different names. The next text, I think, he describes the different names. Yeah, so we'll read that when we get there. So in this way, Mahamaya, or the material energy, the Bahiranga Shakti, she becomes the Bahiranga Shakti of Krishna, the external energy of the Lord. And when she takes on this form, then people who are very materialistic, they worship Chandi, they worship Santoshi Ma. They like her different names, basically. They worship her in these forms, right? And because Prabhupada says that these people are very materialistic, and in order to get rid of their material desires, basically they worship the different demigods, but more particularly, people are attracted to Mahamaya, right? And in this way, so we'll just read the next verse and talk about her different names. Lord Krishna blessed Maya Devi by saying, in different places on the surface of the earth, people will give you different names such as Durga, Bhadrakali, Vijaya, Vaishnavi, Kamuda, Chandika, Krishna, Madhavi, Kanyaka, Maya, Narayani, Ishani, Sarada, and Ambika. So yes, we find that people worship Goddess Kali in with these different names. they want to satisfy their tongue, so they want to eat animal. So then they sacrifice an animal to the goddess Kali, and then they eat. And, so in this way, meat eating is basically not recommended in the Vedas, in the scriptures, in Bhagavad Gita especially. Prabhupada, Krishna, he speaks against this. But for those who are on the lower rungs of the ladder, lower levels of the ladder, of the yoga ladder, basically they are allotted to eat animals by killing it themselves, right, and offering it to the goddess Kali. And in the ear of the animal, they have to recite a mantra which says, "My dear Jiva, soul, I'm actually sacrificing you in this lifetime, and my next life you can do the same to me, because every action is a reaction, right? So in my next life, you can take the part of the one that's being sacrificed, and I will be sacrificed." So in this way, so in order for people to come up to their senses, hey, I shouldn't be doing this, so this mantra is given, this worship is given, that I shouldn't be eating meat, right? So in this way, this is how Goddess Kali or Yoga Maya transforms into Mahamaya in this material world, and she puts this covering over everyone's eyes, to think that I am the body, I am this, so you ask people, who are you? They will say, they'll give you their name, right? They don't know who they are, but we are spirit souls, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So in this way, Mahamaya, she bewilders everyone. And our constitutional position is to worship the Supreme Lord and go back to his planet instead of loitering in this material world. We are loitering in this material world thinking that this is going to give me happiness and that is going to give me happiness, but actually everything fails to give us pleasure. But when we come to Krishna consciousness and just chanting the holy names of Krishna, then this gives us so much of bliss. Right, Prabhu? Yes, this gives us so much of bliss, just chanting and dancing, right, with abandon, basically. So in this way, we become fully happy, right? So the next text reads as follows: "The son of Rohini was also celebrated as Sankarshan because of being sent to the womb of Devaki, from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. He will be called Rama because his ability to please all the inhabitants of Gokul, and he will be known as Balabhadra because of his extensive physical strength." So here, in the purport, Prabhupada is making the point that some people, when they chant the Mahamantra, they like to think of Rama being Balaram or Rama being Lord Ram, right? So, but he says that either one of these two, it still means the same person. Balaram and Ram is the same person. So in this way, how is he the same person? Because Lord Balaram, he expands into all the incarnations of Krishna, right? From his Mahavishnu form, right? So from Krishna comes Balaram. Balaram comes the Chaturvyuha, made up of Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshan. So from that set comes the second set of quadruple expansion, and from the Sankarshan of that set comes Mahavishnu, and from the navel of Mahavishnu sprouts lotus stem, and Brahma is born. And then in this material world, all the incarnations come into this material world, basically, right? So this is how Lord Ram is also an incarnation of Krishna, and Lord Balaram and Ram are non-different in this way. So, so we find Prabhupada says here that we should actually, worship the Supreme Lord. It doesn't matter, if we call him Rama or Balaram, Parusharam, right, Raghupati Ram, like this is the same person. Then text 14. Thus instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yoga Maya immediately agreed with the Vedic mantra Om. She confirmed that she would do what he asked, thus having accepted the order of the Supreme Personality of... Sorry? Number 30? Sorry. Okay. Or 12 and 13, 11 and 12 we read. Okay, 13. The son of Rohini will be celebrated as Sankarshan because of being sent to the womb of Devaki. Have we read that? We did go through that. He will be called Rama because of his ability to please all the inhabitants of Gokul, and he will be known as Balabhadra because of his extensive physical strength. We did that. So 14. Thus instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yoga Maya immediately agreed with the Vedic mantra Om. She confirmed that she would do what he asked. Thus, having accepted the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she circumambulated him and started for the place on earth known as Nanda Gokul. There she did everything just as been told. Right? So, text 15. When the child of Devaki was attracted and transferred into the womb of Rohini by Yoga Maya, Devaki seemed to have a miscarriage. Thus all the inhabitants of the palace loudly lamented, "Alas, Devaki has lost her child." So we see that when this Devaki miscarried, it was Yoga Maya who took the embryo or the Supreme Lord, right, as Baladev, and she placed him in the womb of Rohini. So so we find like this, it was said that she had a miscarriage, and but he was actually transferred to. I was actually listening to something on YouTube where His Holiness Sarvanga Gauranga Mataji, Sarvanga Gauranga, right? Swami, he was interviewing a Rasta, and this Rasta was so enamored by this, by Balaram being transferred from one womb to the other, right? And he was, he kept on glorifying Lord Balaram, and he was attracted like this to Krishna consciousness, because he's reading Krishna book, and he says that Prabhupada's explanations were like so beautiful, right? And actually, the first book that I read before coming to Krishna consciousness was Krishna book as well, so in this way we see that Krishna's pastimes are so attracting, and that anyone from any part of the world, when they read Prabhupada's books, they become so attracted to Krishna like this. So this Rasa, he was questioning Maharaj about these about the appearance of the Lord like this. So that was very interesting. And we'll go on, we don't have so much of time. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the supersoul of all living entities and who vanquished the fear of his devotees, entered the mind of Vasudeva in full opulence. So in this way, the Lord entered the mind of Vasudeva, and Prabhupada makes a comment that he appeared as consciousness in the mind of Vasudeva. And you see that while carrying the form of the Supreme Personality within the core of his heart, Vasudeva bore the Lord's transcendently illuminating effulgence. Thus he became as bright as a sun. He was therefore very difficult to see or approach through sensory perception. Indeed, he was unapproachable and unperceivable even for the formidable men as Kamsa, and not only for Kamsa but for all living entities. So in this purport, Prabhupada he quotes Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1, where he says, Dhamna svena sadani rasa kuhakam tat satyam param dhimahi. And there he makes a point that Dham, where the Lord appears, he appeared in the heart of Vasudev. So that his heart became a Dham, like we get Mathura Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Mayapur Dham. So all these places where the Lord appeared is known as Dham. So in this way, the Lord appeared in Vasudev's heart, so that became a Dham, right? So we'll go on. Text 18. Thereafter, accompanied by the plenary expansions and fully opulent Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all auspicious for the entire universe, was transferred from the mind of Vasudev to the mind of Devaki. Devaki, having thus been initiated by Vasudev, became beautiful by carrying the Lord Krishna, the original consciousness for everyone, the cause of all causes within the core of a heart, just as the east becomes beautiful by carrying the rising moon. How beautiful is that, right? Just as the east becomes beautiful by carrying the rising moon. You look at the horizon in the morning and it's so beautiful. So just like that, Devaki became so effulgent because she was carrying the Lord within her heart, within her womb, basically. So from the mind of Vasudev to his heart, and from the heart of Vasudev to the mind of Devaki, and from the mind of Devaki to her heart and into her womb. How beautiful is that? And Prabhupada said it's not by seminal discharge that Krishna was born. No, it was the consciousness, and therefore we should also carry Krishna in our hearts by Krishna consciousness, by following the process of Krishna consciousness, and in that way we can carry Krishna in our hearts. So, text 19. Devaki then kept within herself the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the foundation of the entire cosmos, but because she was under arrest in the house of Kamsa, she was like the flames of a fire covered by the walls of a pot, or like a person who has knowledge but cannot distribute it to the world for the benefit of human society. So those who, so Prabhupada gives this analogy here, right? At least Krishna, in this verse gives the analogy of just how Krishna was within the womb of Devaki. So similarly, he gives the analogy of a pot that contains fire, cannot actually illuminate because it's kept within the walls of this pot, right? So similarly, people who have knowledge but do not distribute that knowledge, right? It's like that. So we should actually preach and distribute the knowledge of Krishna consciousness to the whole world, as Srila Prabhupada did. If we cannot go around the whole world, at least in our environment, right? And here, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Yara deke tarakaha Krishna upadesh, that whoever we see, we should preach this transcendental knowledge, right? So, people, and Prabhupada in this purport, we're not going to read the whole purport, right? Prabhupada in this purport, he is saying that nobody in India took up this mission of distributing this knowledge all around the world, right? And therefore this knowledge was kept within India, within the holy dhams, basically. This knowledge was kept. It wasn't distributed. And he says, so my take on it is, people may have they may have did some type of preaching. They may have went abroad and did some type of preaching. But what that preaching was, it was all Mayavad philosophies that they were propounding. It wasn't the original text that Krishna spoke in the Bhagavad Gita because they distorted the message, right? And we know when Prabhupada went to America, then he met with Ramakrishna, some Ramakrishna person, right, man, and he was basically teaching yoga. And in this way, everything was basically Mayavad philosophy. And, Prabhupada tried to, and asked him, or, told him that we could come together and we could, create something nice. But he said no, he didn't want Prabhupada to do this because he heard Prabhupada's philosophy and, he didn't want that. So he just wanted to make money out of the people of America by distorting the message and pleasing them by all this word jugglery, basically, right? So like this, Prabhupada says that, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he appeared, then he basically expounded this philosophy and he took it all over India, right? And there's also mention in the scriptures of, where the Lord is saying, my Senapati, my commander-in-chief will come and he will take this message around the whole world. And we know that Srila Prabhupada did this, right? He came and he distributed Bhagavad Gita as it is, all over the world. And the Bhagavad Gita is so authentic that whoever comes in touch with the Bhagavad Gita, his life becomes transformed like this. So it's basically, it's amazing. There's a pastime in, I just read on Dandavats, where this man, he was eating meat, he was drinking, but his father was very saintly, and his father kept asking him, this guy's from Maharashtra, and his father kept telling him, just abandon all of these things and just read Bhagavad Gita, and in this way improve yourself. Why are you so degraded? And then he eventually got a post in the government, in the politics. He became a politician, and then he opened a liquor house and he opened a butchery like this. So and he would go to and drink himself out, and he would go and eat meat, and and he because he had a very stout body, he would bully everyone, and he would hit his wife, and all these what drunks do, right? So in this way, he was like like a demoniac person, and everybody feared him. They wouldn't go near him, but he kept. His father used to keep telling him, "You should read Bhagavad Gita." So when the father was on his deathbed, his last words to this person was, "Please read Bhagavad Gita." So he basically, while drinking one night, he came to this realization, but this was my father's last words, I should go and read the Bhagavad Gita. So he went into the prayer room, he saw all these books that were wrapped in the cloth, he opened it and he read the Bhagavad Gita, but he couldn't understand anything. And it wasn't Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, it was someone else's Bhagavad Gita, because he said the language was too high and he couldn't understand anything. And he said, but this is an instruction from my father, I should read Bhagavad Gita. Then he saw Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita also wrapped in a cloth and kept there. And he opened it, because he opened all the cloths now, and he saw that Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita was there. So he opened this book and he read it. And in his drunken state, he would go to the bar, put his two legs on the table, have Bhagavad Gita in one hand, have his drink on the other hand, and he would preach to all the Jagais and Madhais there, right? All his counterparts. He would preach to them about from Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. And so can you imagine the scene, right? So every day he would do this, and every day he would keep doing this, and eventually he came to this realization that, like, what am I doing? I'm preaching, but I'm not practicing. And then he somehow he got invited to Pandharpur, where Lokanath Swami has a beautiful temple, And first he met the Padayatra devotees, and they gave him more books. And so he went to Pandharpur and he listened to Maharaj speak, and that attracted him, that he gave up eating meat, he gave up all his bad habits, he became a devotee, became an initiated devotee. Maharaj initiated him eventually, and now he is basically worshipping Lord Jagannath. He's got his own deities of Lord Jagannath. So that's what I'm saying. The Lord takes birth, right? He takes birth in our hearts. He takes birth in our hearts so that we can transform our lives like this, and then and worship him, right? And the Lord appears to us. He appears as the deity form, right? And then we can render service unto him like this. So yes, the Lord does not only take birth from the womb of Devaki or the birth in Vrindavan or Mathura like this, but in this Kali Yuga, the Lord takes birth within the devotees' hearts, right? And the Lord also takes birth within the Mahamantra, right? So it is being described that there's Kali Kale Nama Rupa Krishna avatar, that within the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Krishna is taking birth. Nama Rupa. Nam means name and Rupa means form. So Krishna's form is his name, and himself is non-different. So Krishna is not different from his name, and in this way he takes birth within the Mahamantra. And when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna is right here, but we don't have the eyes to see him. Therefore we get deities in order to worship him and have this loving reciprocation with him. Or we come to the temple and offer worship to the deities, and by dressing them and cooking for them. Or we can't do that because we're not initiated. Then we can actually give some Lakshmi towards Krishna consciousness, and in this way the pujaris can worship the deities like this. So now it's Janamastami that's here, and yes, we need lots of donations to worship the Lord. We're having very elaborate festivities, and this Lakshmi will actually help when you contribute to the service of the Lord. It helps us to give you a nice big festival. So dear devotees, I'd like to stop here now, because Krishna has taken birth in our hearts, and we need to do the needful by serving him in what way we are capable of doing, we should do. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Is there any contributions, questions or comments, you're most welcome to make them now. We have 5 minutes. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gau Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.